Let us see the 10th chapter, which is actually we are talking about converting active audience into connecting community. So here, this is the 10th chapter. It's stage a gig. So here, let us see. Anyone who ever attends a live concert, you know the answer. It's a whole new level of awesome. Actually, in the real life live setting, the crowd there for the exact same reasons you are. It's a feeling you can't capture in any other way. So, attending live concert will be an awesome opportunity to get the like-minded people. This is why when you are a brand, whether that means a musician who plays a song or business that builds a products and solutions, creating events like this, what I like to call gigs, can be a game changing strategy for the growth and strength of your community. If you want to take your audience from active to connected, you have got to be willing to gig. I like the word gig because it's a little less intimidating than something like concert or event. You don't have to spend hundreds of thousands of dollars for set design and in order to pull off the same thing musicians do while on tour. All you need is a time, a location, and enough preparation time to let people know you are going to show up live. A gig. A gig can also take many forms. You could host a training workshop at a local co-working space for a small group of people. You could get a booth on the expo floor during a conference in your niche market to show off your product, or you could speak on stage at an event. And gigs don't have to happen live and in person, they can happen live and online too. When i when the time finally came, so small events can go a long way, especially if you do them regularly. Today, it's easier than ever to pull off something similar to what did with Facebook Live, YouTube Live, Twitch, other live streaming software. You can bring your community together and strengthen the bonds they have with you and each other. And unlike in a live in-person event, these online events can also be shared with audiences you have not even tapped into yet. By the way, these kind of events are powerful on their own, but there are little things you can do to amplify their effect. As a tip, whenever possible, make sure you do your best to call out people's names. Bigger events, although much harder to coordinate, can also do wonders for growing community. Challenge events were so inspiring. Putting on an event, big or small, can be little nerve wracking. It's live, so you actually have to interact and be present and truly care about the experience of the end user. But don't worry, going live, especially online, is not as scary as you might think. And this is coming from someone who avoided the stage and even online streaming for years because I was so scared in the beginning. The last thing before you execute on this is to remember that it's not really about you. The magic happens when you bring your community together. It's about the experience, and the experience is heightened when your community members find themselves in a space where they can connect with each other too. Gigs are about the community because community is about other people, you with them and they with each other. But who is your community exactly? How do you identify them? and address them as a group. It's about time you brought your active audience even further together by giving them an identity to rally around. And that's what we will talk about next. So, let us see some exercise here. Stage your first gig. If you have never staged a gig or don't have the resources to create a live in person event yet, I recommend starting with something online. You don't have to find a venture, you don't have to go anywhere, and you can get used to showing up and talking in the comfort of your own home. In this step number one, decide the platform you will use for your gig: Facebook Live, Instagram Live, YouTube Live, or Periscope, or something else. The easiest way to figure this out is twofold. One, which platform are you the most comfortable with? And second thing, where is the majority of your audience already hanging out and engaging with you? Step number two, set a date and time and announce it to your audience. Do this right away, because as soon as you announce it, you are accountable to your followers to actually show up. Step number three, come up with a short 3 point outline for what you will talk about during the live event. Maybe you will answer three most frequently asked questions or offer three tips for how to do something related to your niche. Whatever it is, write them down in a place where you can have it for the gig. Post it notes are great for this. Step number four, rephrase. Now, don't get me wrong, your live appearance does not have to be flawless. It's live after all, you and want to give your fan followers a glimpse of what the real you and your real life is like. But it does help to practice in few things: how you start and how you end. Step number five, how show up at your planned date and time, go live and have fun. In chapter 10 of your super followers bonus course. So that's it. This is the 5 step exercise. You can do it to stage a gig. This is the number 10th chapter. In order to convert your active on audience to connecting community.